Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Thirsty Thursday. Did somebody say it's Thirsty Thursday? Welcome, everyone. I am so glad you're here. I know that this is a day that I'm really excited about because we are still in V week. Yeah, and what do you see how I tie all these things together? I don't think this is just some kind of a coincidence that we happen to be doing this. There's my girl Diane, and we have Flynn, Janet, Lucy, Shauna is in the house. Helen, Joanne, and Carol already. How about that? You guys are storming the gates. I love it. Are you excited to be here? I hope so. Simone, she's made it all the way from Brazil. Isn't that so cool? I'm so glad you're here too, Simone. Anyway, it's Thirsty Thursday. Cheers. Are you drinking your hot milk mix? I am. Mm-hmm. You know why? I'm an athlete. Remember that? I am an athlete. Hey, Martha, are you using your I am statements and using doing your Take Back Your Life journal and noticing how everything's starting to shift and change? Hey, Juanita. Yahoo! Yes, good. And I know, of course, Joanne is. I always say, of course, Joanne is, because of course, Joanne is. This is how she rolls. We have a really good, wait do you see how I throw all these things together? You know, I'm going to tell you what, it was not an accident. I believe this was a divine appointment because this is some good stuff here, and I think you're going to like it. Terry is in the house. There's my girl Lucy and Catherine. Teresa's here. So's Darla. So's Doris. That makes my day. How about you? Isn't it fun when your community comes together? This is like a coffee clutch, only a little different. We have still our success tools in the shop that are ready and available for you. A couple of things. First of all, there's the Core 4. Who has got the Core 4? Cha-cha-cha. Sarah, come on. She does this. Cha-cha-cha. Cha-cha-cha. These are like mariachi. What are those things? Marachas? Mm-hmm. Hi, Tammy. Good to see you. Darla is here. Did I already say Darla? I don't know if I did. Who else? Diane is in the house. Jocelyn, Vanessa. Of course, she's here for B Week. She better be. This was her idea. Those are our Core 4. The Core 4 is right now, our special supplement of the week. And here's the deal. When you get that, you're also going to get some paleo slow cooker menus that are fabulous. Almost all of them are sprint worthy. They're certainly within the low carb situation and what have you, and you're really going to like them. So check it out at savingdinner.com/show, especially if this is something that you regularly get. Now you're going to get a little bonus with it. How about that? Because we sell a ton of our Core 4. And the Core 4, all the science, all the reason, all there. Also, ta-da, quote decks. I swear these go out the door every single day. You know why? Setting up your environment for success is one of the things that we all have to take so seriously. Have you noticed how much difference things are? One of my favorite words, by the way, is notice. Because when you notice, you're paying attention. When you see things, you're paying attention. You're watching your life change in front of your eyes. Have you seen that before? I love that. Hello, Jeanette. I'm so glad you're here. Yes. And all of you. Yes, it's so great. Fantastic stuff. Anyway, look at how you're greeting each other too, by the way. Do you know what that does to my heart? I love it. The quote decks can be found at savingdinner.com/quote. And you get this cute little stand and a quote that's going to light you up like a cosmic 2x4. Mine says old keys won't open new doors, which is a reminder that, you know, if you're going to change things up, then you're going to change things up. And you can't keep doing the old. You know, what is the insanity quote from? It was attributed to Einstein, but there's kind of some things on what it was. the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I remember the first time I heard that was a cosmic 2x4. Well, there's a bunch of other ones out there, and it makes you notice, doesn't it? And be present in your life. Exactly what Diane said. When you notice, you are present. And that's exactly true. When we're present, that means we are not living in the past. That means that we are living vibrant lives, and it just lights everything up. Right, Elizabeth? There's Corliss and Mary Ann, Steph and Susan and Macy, all in the house today. Yay! So this is important. SavingDinner.com/quote to get your own quote deck. This is our second version. We have a third one that right now is in draft state. Gosh, wait till you see it though. I'm going to tell you, it's incredible. Deborah, I'm so glad you're here. She's here live. She never gets to do that. That's really neat. So that's the quote deck. Also, our lovely mugs. Now, if you have a damaged mug, guess what? We just sent out new ones to you. That's what we did. Yeah, I'll tell you, Jenny she's a stirrer of the pot. She is a doer of the things. She makes it happen. She was all over these guys and said, hey, you didn't give us directions. And hey, well, I'm giving you direction right now, okay? Don't forget, only hand wash these babies or we'll lose the front of it. So anyway, we sent you a new one. If you've had a ruined one, then send us a note, support@savingdinner.com. We'll replace it. Of course we will, right? You know, we walk in our integrity as much as we can here at Saving Dinner because we expect you to do the same thing, you know? We have so many things together right now. We're putting, you know, we've got one challenge after the other and our Hot Melt 30 is coming up. Have you seen the Hot Melt 30? Are you in it to win it? Throw me some fire if you are. I want fireballs. I love the fireballs, by the way. Throw me some fire if you are in the Hot Melt 30. We start on Tuesday, right after Memorial Day. Couldn't be the most succinct, best time. We're doing it all the way to June 30th. It's going to be lit up. And wait till you see the quote of the week that's starting on Saturday. Your head will blow right off. It is just all about it. Susan's in. That's what I want to see. There we go. There's my girl Flynn and Mary Ann is in. Of course you are. Of course you are. I love it. Teresa, it's good to see you. Noreen, I'm so glad you're here. Yes. Elizabeth says I'm going to collect all the quote decks and mindful mugs. Well, you know what? These ones are getting scarce. Go savingdinner.com/quote to go get it. Because I want you to have it. And remember, these are not coffee cups. No, it's not even a teacup. It's a mindful mug. And there's a whole philosophy behind it. And I swear, once you understand this and once you get it and once you get the whole physiology and psychology of being trigger happy in a good way, this is what triggers good thoughts, good ideas, good next habits, good next things. Isn't that so good? Diane said, this is my quote right now from the quote deck. For there is always light if only we are brave enough to see it, if only we are brave enough to be it. And that is the truth. That is the truth all the way. Look at those fire bombs. Sarah, we're going to have to put a fire extinguisher on you. That's all. Terry's in it too. Look at you all, Darla. I'm so excited. Oh, and Leisha just showed up. I'm glad you're here, Leisha. Elizabeth says she's turning 40 on June 16th and determined to make my 40 the new. Hey, let me just tell you something. I'm in my 60s. I feel better than I did in my 50s and 40s. 40s, no question. I was out to lunch in my 40s. I mean, this is when I got diagnosed with thyroid. This is when everything was falling apart, you know? Now, can you believe that? Can you believe that? Well, that's what happens when you really make a decision. It's always about a decision to take on the responsibility for your own health. You don't expect it from a doctor. You know, you don't expect it from a book. You take it on yourself. Pinky's up for that one, by the way. That's how my thyroid went into remission. And that's why it continues to stay there. I'm delighted about that. Hi, Suzanne. I'm glad you're here. There's my girl, Jackie. Yes, so glad you're here. Jocelyn, look at, she's throwing down some fire bombs. I'll take those. So what else do we have to tell you? Besides if you don't have the Hot Melt 30, please get on it because this is all the things. It's wrapping everything that we've ever done into one great big huge challenge, and it's taking you to the next level, up. I can't wait. This is going to be fun. savingdinner.com/30. I don't care if you spell it out. I don't care if you put a 30. You're going to find it. Okay? Are you excited? I'm so stoked for this. And I'm preparing myself mentally because I have quite a few little social engagements and things like that where there's going to be wine and what have you involved. And you know, that for me, that's the hardest thing because I do like a good glass of wine. Not going to lie. Easy to step away from the buffet table full of crap because I know it's going to make me feel bad. But a glass of wine, but I'm not going to because I'm going to stand in my integrity with you doing this with you. We're doing it all together, right? On Tuesday, starting Tuesday. And it just go so well with our journals. Can you believe that? I just, and it wasn't intentional. I have to tell you this just simply because, you know, I love serendipity like that. That is just the serendipitous thingy ever. And Noreen knows Noreen's lost like 40 pounds or something. I don't even know how much she's lost. I'm just astounded always. Plus she sings to us. And she's going camping and she's planning right now so that she can stay the course and do the thing. It's going to be so much fun. That's all I can say. So today, I think I told you about everything, didn't I? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, our full bloom. The page is open, by the way. All you have to do is go to savingdinner.com/bloom to say, yes, I'm interested, so that we get you all the information as soon as possible. It's here. It's going to be in Brevard, and you're going to be at my house, and it's going to be amazing. Amazing. And I want to see you. I want to meet you, for heaven's sakes, in person, and I want to give you a big hug in September 10th, 11th, and 12th, here at Brevard, North Carolina. Game on. Yeah, it's going to be so great. Yes. Diane says Hot Milk 30 is fire, and she's looking forward to it. Perfect for the journals. Agreed. So agreed. And this week, we did C Week the other week, and I don't know what else we've done. Maybe we've done a couple more. I don't even know. Sometimes all the weeks seem to go together. But we have V Week this week. Somebody, a couple of you did, but I saw it from Vanessa, and I figured Vanessa with a V. Sure, we're going to give Vanessa credit for that, right? So she said, let's do V Week. So I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be hard. But look at how this is all worked out. Were you here for yesterday? We talked about voluptuousness and being valiant. And I can't remember what the other one was. But, you know, the whole thing is how do we show up for our lives, right? How do we show up for our lives? Well, today, it's all about being vocal. It's all about being vehement. And it's all about being voracious, right? I'm going to take you through all of this, weave it all together. It's my mess that we call the Daily Dish. That's right. Okay, yes, you're right. Sarah knows. Before C Week was mindfulness, and before that was back to basics. Well, thank you, Sarah. I need you to keep reminding me of where we were. I don't remember all this. But anyway, the idea of being voracious, vehement, and vocal, I just threw them together, and wow, oh wow, how this whole thing kind of loops and cinches and creates a path. You know, it's one more of those bridge builders. You know, we talk about that gap that we all have. Everyone does. Right here to right here, there's a gap, and there's a bridge that needs to be built because you are here, you want to go here. You got to build your own bridge. No one's going to do it for you. There's no magic fairies. There's no fairy dust, by the way. There's no special pills or, you know, hoopla doopla, bippity boppity boop. There's none of that. We got to get in there and do the work. Do the work, right? Angie knows all about this. Angie does the work. Suzanne does the work. We do the work, don't we? Roll up your sleeves and let's show up. Roll up your sleeves and show up. And that's what James Clear said. Basically, the very first habit that you've got to master is showing up. That's fire right there. Show up, and guess what? The rest falls into place. Show up. Put on the shoes, right? Put on your dancing shoes. Put on whatever shoes that, well, Marla calls it, the flying shoes for her, for doing your daily life. But my whole thing is put on your shoes. Put on the shoes for the job. Put on the shoes for the bike. Put on the shoes to go work out. Put on the shoes to run the dog. Put on the shoes to go out with your man and look decent, Put on the shoes, right? We got to put on the shoes. Yes, we got to put on the shoes. And I'm saying today that part of all this of showing up for your life is putting on the shoes, because when you're doing it, you're telling yourself, back to the basics of Fly Lady and showing up and putting on your shoes so that you can take on your day. But when you're putting on your shoes, you are indeed telling your head, it's time to go to work. It's time to go on a date. It's time to work out. This is what it does. This fixes things. This is the fixer. It isn't bippity boppity boo, but it's shoes, right? That's right, Janet. Hoopla doopla bippity boppity is what it says above the entrance to the Carousel of Crazy. Wow. Yeah, Sarah just said that. It's so true. Elizabeth said, I've spent tens of thousands of dollars over the years trying to get someone to build that bridge for me. You know what? That's the truth, though. We all have, haven't we? How many exercise gizmos and gadgets have you bought? Or magic pills and formulas and books and all the crap. How about all that done for you food? What's her name? Marie Osmond sells. That stuff. Oh, Weight Watchers. Who's been to Weight Watchers where you're sitting there cringing and even though they do your weigh-in in private. I found the whole thing to be humiliating and embarrassing. And I wanted to opt out of all of that. And I am, I'm giving you all right now passes to opt out from all of that, because that's not what it's about. It's about your vibrant life that you want to live, that we get to create. And the side effect, the side effect is that you get this amazing life, and maybe you'll drop a few pounds along the way, and maybe the inflammation will start to dissipate, and maybe you'll start to feel good. You'll feel good, maybe less depressed, maybe more excited about what's next. That's vibrancy. And when we're vocal about that, when we're vehement and passionate about that, and we are voracious and hungry for it, it's ours. As long as we understand that we've got to get out the tools and we've got to build a bridge. Yeah, that's it, Nutrisystems. We've all done it all. Elizabeth, you're in good company. This is why we talk about this stuff, because it's nothing to, I'm not ashamed of it. I am, it's like the scales, I feel like Paul, on the road to Damascus, the scales fell from my eyes and I saw it for what it was. It was that day sitting in my Volvo, driving, eating all those M&Ms and the shards and the cutting up of my mouth, where I realized I was giving my power away to a bag of M&Ms, giving it away. They don't talk about that at Nutrisystems. They don't talk about that at Weight Watchers. That's not what it's about. Here's your plan. Count your points. Go PM a stick. Go do all these things. And the point is that we need to be in the place of being vocal about our lives. When we're vocal, it relates to the voice, doesn't it? Doesn't it, Noreen? It relates to the voice. It's singing. It's vocal. We hear it. And when we're vehement, what are we doing? We're showing strong feeling. I'm vehemently, opposed to fill in the blank. It's forceful. It's passionate. There's an intensity behind vehemency, isn't there? And what about voracious? Well, I'm a voracious reader. What does that mean? You're hungry, but we're all voracious for something, but if you look at just what the classic definition from your Webster's dictionary is, it's wanting or devouring great quantities of food. No thanks. No thanks. Step away from that one. We don't want to do that. That's what we've done before to cope. We've numbed ourselves out with that stuff, haven't we? We've all, let's just face facts. We've all been addicted to something. We've all abused food. We've given food way too much power in our lives, and we've expected way too much from it. Is that going to protect us? Is that going to keep us feeling better? Is that going to do the things that we want it to? Of course not. But you know what replaces all of that? You know what helps us to become the women that we want to become? It's when we just start becoming voracious about and hungry for more in our lives. When we understand that vibrancy is what we want, not about the jeans, not about the color of your lipstick, not about all these things that have occupied so much real estate in our heads for so long. And now we see this, it is road to Damascus experience. The scales have fallen off. So being voracious is accompanied by hunger. It's great, hunger and thirst even for knowledge, for freedom, for wisdom. When we have that and it's accompanied by passion, is there anything we can't do? That vision is sharp. It becomes extraordinarily vivid because the passion is there and because the hunger is there. And that hunger and that passion, boy, do they feed into everything that we want to do, don't they? That's the thing that I see. That's the thing that lights me up. When I see that, I just go like, ooh, yes. And Terry, yes, of course you want to become voracious for something other than food. This is the shift that we're talking about. And Leisha, that's brilliant. She says vibrancy doesn't have a weight range. No, ma'am, it does not. It does not. That's why we talked about voluptuousness yesterday and really embracing our voluptuousness because, God forbid, I don't want to be a part of the diet culture. I don't. I vehemently step away from that and start looking at these bridge building that we have to do. Because I want you to have the most vibrant life, the most delicious, yummy, delicious life ever that you created, that's custom just for you. You get one shot, one life. And it's not just about your bloody jeans, it's about this stuff, a hunger for all these things. And what is that going to happen? You know what? You can't have this though if you're not vocal about your life. You can't be voracious about following after what it is that you think is just so important and wisdom and all of this yummy stuff that we're talking about, knowledge, reading. You can't do that if you don't have a voice in your life. You can't do this if you don't have passion about it, because then mimsy mamsy, mediocre, lukewarm, spit you out of my mouth. You've heard that one before, right? I love that, Sarah. Did you see what she said? Just like Saul and Paul, my identity is changing. I'll be known as energetic and vibrant. Yes, you will. I would even say that right now. Not that you will be known, you are known as. That's right. Vanessa says it's time to live our best selves. It's right. Mary's here. Hi, Mary. It is. It is time. This is how we step into that vibrant life. And when we're making that, building that bridge, we're building that path to vibrancy. And we're always on our way to vibrancy as we create it. We're in it, we create it. It's an amazing thing that happens. You think we're going to look at vibrancy? On Saturday, it's all about vibrancy. What does that mean? How do we grasp it? The whole thing. It's going to be all about that. Tomorrow, of course, is Q&A. And listen, if you haven't sent in your questions, side note, send in your questions to support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday. Today's the last day, Thursday, to do that. So we take this hunger, we take this passion, and we apply them to your own life. Boom, just like that, But it's not going to work if you don't show up. And remember what James Clear said, the first habit is always showing up. Show up, put on the shoes, be the woman who's after her own life. Be the woman who has a voice in her own life. Be the woman who's made a decision for herself that nothing less than vibrancy will do. Nothing less. Nothing less. So showing up for yourself is easier to do when you're vocal, isn't it? When you're vehemently vocal, it's easier to do. This is how you find your voice, and it's born from that seed of hunger, voraciousness, and passion, vehemency, isn't it? You know this. You're the one who planted the seed. So how do we do this? I've got 4 things for you. And I've got one bonus that you're going to love, Sarah, because that was from yesterday, what you said. So I got 4 things. First of all, speak the truth, right? We have to speak the truth. And that's the same thing as living your truth and being in your truth and all this other stuff that millennials say all the time. But it's true. But we need to also remember, speak the truth in love, right? Not in the Southern condescending, bless your heart kind of love thing. That's just wicked, evil. It is. It's a put down. We all know it. That is, you can't get away with that. I want you to see from this, that when you speak the truth, you are setting yourself free. You're setting yourself free from all the preconceived stuff from the past, and you're living in the present when you speak the truth in love. In love, because it takes courage to do this. And what is that? It's valiance from yesterday. Remember, when you're valiant, Prince Valiant, Princess Valiant, that's courageous. Speaking the truth is something that some of us shrink away from, and we pretend a lot. And pretending isn't living your life. It's just getting by. That doesn't work. That doesn't give you vibrancy in your life. That just gives you, it gives you a big show. Big shows don't work. It's fine for Broadway. It's not fine for your life. Number 2, be authentic. You have to be you. No one else was assigned that, just you. It's just yours. You're here on purpose for purpose. You know that. Fearfully and wonderfully made. You know that too. Then be authentically you. No one else can do you except you. No one else has your idiosyncrasies and your certain things. No one else has your cute nose. No one else has the way you laugh. No one else does. Being authentically yourself is a gift that you give to this world because you're showing up, right? We show up when we're authentic. Be unapologetic about who you are. You know what? And even if other people don't agree with your stance on something or what you are, whatever you proclaim to think, this is the way and this is that. And you know how we all get hung up on each other's religions and politics and all the other kind of garbage. Authentically being yourself is authentically being who you have been given to be by God himself. If he put breath into those nostrils of yours, then what do you think your obligation is to him? It's to show up and unapologetically, authentically live your life, your truth, in a way that's honoring, in a way that brings other people in a way that's loving. And you don't think that don't you think that if everybody did this, if we embrace this, don't you think that all this depression and all this, self-loathing and self-absorption and all this, don't you think that would all go away? Because we would see our place in this world. We would see how important it is that we do live our lives authentically. And you know what else? We don't have to pretend anymore. We don't have to pretend anymore. Who you are shows up in what you do, not just what you say. We know that. And so therefore, if you show up and you make a decision that you're going to be unapologetically yourself, the world is going to fall in love with you. I promise you. Because you're not playing for an audience. You're playing for one and one alone. Because he's the one who made you. On purpose, for purpose. You see how that all just fits together? This is the missing puzzle piece, I think, for a lot of us. We don't see this. We see that we're trying to people please. And we have our eyes on the world, not our eyes going up. So look up. Look up. That's where your approval comes from. That's where the love comes from. That's the anointing right there, You don't even have to be religious, if you will, to understand that. But that's the place. This is the thing. Elizabeth said it. She's absolutely right. People pleasing is exhausting. You know why? Because it's not, you're playing a part. You're not being yourself. See how this all works? Isn't that freedom? This is freedom. And then the other thing is you got to be hungry about your vision. I mean, voracious about the vision that you have for your life. Because that's the thing that's creating the life that you want, isn't it? Isn't it? We need to redirect that wasted energy Redirect it, because remember, what we focus on expands. What we dwell upon becomes our destiny. So think about all that wasted energy that's going on, stuff that we can't do a thing about, that we're worried about, and that we're reliving and doing all of that. What if we just redirected it? Can you imagine? Think about that for a minute. Think about how that whole thing just pop, pop, pop puts together. Because that's how we become, we understand the gift of today. And we understand how important putting our lives, putting our energy toward things that we want. This is what this is about. This is helping you to do this. It's a tool, a daily tool to do it. That's why these journals are so amazing, right? So the bonus is, Sarah, if you're still here, the bonus is you get velocity out of this whole thing, right? Velocity. Because what is velocity? It's the speed of something in a given direction. Which way are you going? You're going over the bridge, aren't you? Right? You're going over that bridge because you're building it. You're going on that path of vibrancy. And when you do that, guess what? That is the beginning of momentum. And we know what momentum is. That's secret sauce right there. Momentum creates its own momentum. Velocity starts it. Who knew we were going to do physics today, right? So you've got velocity here, speed going in one certain direction. My hope, my thought, my voracious heart is saying, are you building the bridge? You got your tools out? Are you creating this? Because when you're creating this and you get momentum going, you're unstoppable. Unstoppable. Can you imagine? Can you see yourself in that light? And when we have all of this together, and we just start doing this on a daily basis, little bit by little bit. Remember, it's ounce by ounce, drip by drip, drop by drop. It's just a little bit every single day. That's when we get to this magical place of consistency and success. And that is the magic sauce. It is. It's the fairy dust. It's the thing that sets this whole thing on fire. And we're going to do this. And then we've got the Hot Melt 30 that we get to practice all this stuff with. Can you feel all this? This is fire. This is amazing. This is how we do it. So, all that to say, if you're thirsty, if you're voracious, if you're vocal in your life, vehemently so, this is what you get to do. This is what you get to have. Because you now are creating a new pathway for all of it. Isn't this so fun? I love this stuff. I hope that was fun for you. I really love this. V-Week, who knew? Who knew V-Week would be so much fun? But it's been a blast. Now, Saturday, we're back on. How do you like that? Tomorrow's Q&A, you know that, and you've sent your questions in, which is fabulous. Oh, ba-ba-boom. Oh, no. Sarah, don't keep throwing those V words down. We'll never get out of V-Week. So yes, it's going to be the velocity to break free. Amen. It's, here's the thing. I'm just side note here. The reason that Hot Melt 30 was built in the first place was because we saw this thing 75 hard, and 75 hard was ridiculous. You can Google it if you want to. Some guy came up with it, and I read it, and the rules around it and everything was just a little bit nutty. But it had some good ideas there. And the reason for it was to find out what you're made out of, which that is super cool. And also to prove to your own self that you're so much stronger than you think. So yeah, that's one of the reasons what I wanted to do, because I thought that would be good for all of us. I want to do it. But number two, and the reason it's all changed around is just to make it, applicable for women like us. And number two, the other thing is, I have noticed, and I can be just as guilty, that if you keep losing and gaining the same weight and you're trying to actually push the ball down the field, that it's not enough to just sprint for 7 days. Let's get this habit established. But the sprint is great if it's cleanup and it's pretty strict, but also we have other ways of putting this all together. And that's what Hot Melt 30 is all about. So enough of that. I will be here tomorrow for Q&A. Again, send them in to support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday goes right there in the subject line. And on Saturday, we will be back for Soulful Saturday, where we're going to unpack the last of the V's because they're so good. So if you have not yet become part of the Hot Melt 30, please get on it. It's time, because we start on Tuesday, June 1st. And I'm going to tell you what, that Hot Melt Sprint group, we're hijacking it. And it's going to be lit up. The fireballs are going to be crazy. The hashtags Hot Melt 30 are going to be nuts. And you're going to see all kinds of stuff. And you're going to say, what is all this about? Join the party. Hot Melt 30 is bomb.com. Okay? Go to savingdinner.com/30 and get on it. Now's the time. Peace be with you. I will see you on Friday. Looking forward to it. See you. Bye.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.